Hi, friends. Wait, I forget what camera. Camera 2.
Oh, yes.
Hi.
We're so excited because
We're so excited.
This episode of Caroline and Rashi is going to be epic because we have two things happening. One big announcement for everyone in H-Town.
That's right.
And our very first guest.
We have a guest for you guys today. That's why the camera shots are different.
Yes,
So.
and this guest, I mean, he is the, okay, I should know the title, he's the, he's the communications director
With the Houston Sports Authority.
Harris County Houston Sports Authority.
He's also a baby daddy.
He's also my baby daddy, both kids. He's also former sports anchor at another station. And
Without further ado, ladies
the
and
love of
gentlemen.
my life, Daniel Gotera. Oh,
Right. All
look at this, walk in.
Ladies, how are you?
Welcome.
How are
welcome.
you?
Good to see you.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hi. So good
All
to
right.
have you here.
Hey, this is great.
This is so nice.
That was quite the intro.
Thank you. I know
Thank
you're
you.
a big fan of the Caroline and Rashi show.
Absolutely.
He's a
I had
loyal
to be
viewer.
on the highest rated streaming show in Houston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do it. And
I know,
we're
we
here.
were.
We're having a
here.
good time, yeah.
Well, there's big news breaking in
Yeah.
the sports world. And first of all, tell us what the news is.
Yeah, the World Baseball Classic
Mm-hmm.
is coming to Houston in 2026. So, look, 2026 is going to be a huge year for
Right.
Houston sports. We're going to have the World Cup. Now we have the World Baseball Classic in March. And so this is an event that was started 20 years ago, actually 18 years ago. So in 26 is going to be 20 years, so the 20th anniversary of it. So countries from around the world playing at Minute Maid Park, downtown Houston, for everyone to go watch.
Thank you for explaining, because I was like, you know, if you're anything like me and you're a fan of the show, you might not exactly know what it is. So this is a really big deal.
Yes.
Yeah, so this tournament was, like I said, started back in 2006, and I remember when it got started because it was the first time that Major League players can compete for their home countries against one another. Because at the Olympics, Major League players can't compete in baseball because at the Olympic level, they have amateur baseball players make Team USA and other Olympic teams. But now, this was started by Major League Baseball, and the World Baseball Classic allows all major leaguers from the Dominican Republic, from Puerto Rico to Cuba, everywhere, to compete for their home countries and to compete against each other. So you're going to see a whole nother level of excitement. You see it in that video right there. The stands are packed. Everybody's jumping around. You have the drums, the flags. It's like going to a soccer game, but watching America's pastime. So I love this event, and I think it's going to be great to have in our backyard.
So will we see like Astro players competing in that, or like how?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's funny, when the news broke today, some Astros fans were a little hesitant because, okay, Jose Altuve plays for Team Venezuela, but this past year, or 2023, he got hurt. He broke his hand because he got hit by a pitch. So people are like, okay, this is great as long as Jose doesn't play for Venezuela.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Wow.
so yes, there is that likelihood that guys can get hurt because it happens during spring training, which happens at the end of February going into March. So these guys are going to be playing really highly competitive baseball before they usually do, because spring training is kind of all about ramping up and getting up to speed for the regular season to start in late March and April. But yeah, we're going to see Astros players if they want to play for their home countries. Jeremy Pena to play for his home country, Yainer Diaz for the Dominican Republic. So all these guys could be on the field at Minute Maid wearing different colors for their own country. That'd be cool.
I mean, that's kind of like a predicament you're in if you're Pena or Altuve, where you have to choose whether or not you're going to play for your home country and possibly get hurt, right? Or have to go back.
Yeah.
Because is it like looked down upon, or is it?
No.
I mean, if
no,
you're like, I'm going to go play, I hope I'm okay for spring training kind of thing.
No, I think that's it's a decision that each one makes. I think everybody respects it in the baseball world, but I think it's so unique and it's so cool for some of these guys that have come from overseas to play in the U.S. to be able to suit up for their home country and play. Like the guys from Japan, there's a lot of baseball that's played in Japan. They have a great tradition over there, and they take a lot of pride in what they do. So they were the ones that won the World Baseball Championship, World Baseball Classic last year. They beat the U.S. So guys like Shohei Ohtani, yeah, he plays for the Dodgers now, biggest star in baseball, but now he gets to suit up for Japan. Which, that
Crazy.
dynamic I think is really,
It
really
sort of
cool.
I mean, like maybe not really, but okay, golfer, you guys know I'm a golfer, like Ryder Cup vibes.
That's
where-
exactly right.
Okay, cool, yes.
That's exactly right.
Love
yeah.
that because
it's the same thing.
It's like you're watching these players that you're like cheering for otherwise throughout the year, but now you're cheering against them because they're not Team USA. So it's like, oh, I
Right.
can't root for Rory McIlroy because he's, you know, Team Europe during the Ryder Cup. So that's kind of like the same thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me personally, when this event got started, you know, my family's from Cuba. They were born in Cuba, and that we love baseball. That's our sport in our family, as you know. And you know really
Oh,
well.
I even know because your son had me playing like a baseball video game that I
Oh,
was
yeah,
really
there you go.
bad at.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we have this PS5. It's a whole.
Oh, it's a whole
situation.
new
Yes,
situation. Great.
love
I
it.
can
Yep.
come over and
Yep.
be terrible at that one.
Absolutely. Come on over anytime you want. I'm still trying to learn too.
Can I tell you what he did though, real quick?
Who?
Ryan.
Oh, Ryan,
Our
okay.
7-year-old.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Mommy, just play the baseball. You know, here's the controller, and you do it." Because I didn't understand how to do it. And then he was playing, and I'm like,
Yeah,
whatever.
you're just kind of pushing
yeah,
buttons.
pushing buttons. He's like, "Yeah, I was playing by myself."
So he was tricking you the whole time.
So he tricked me the whole time. So
Yeah.
I was over here like,
That's
okay,
hilarious.
oh, I think I got it. I think but anyway,
No.
okay, go back to what you were saying.
Anyway, what I was saying was about Cuba when they started playing this in '06. So a lot of people know about the issues in Cuba and major league players haven't been able to play. There's more that are coming over now to play here in the U.S. But back then, it was so unique to see Cuba play against major league talent. So a lot of those guys used that opportunity. Guys like Jose Abreu were back then. Yuli Gurriel was on that team. Like these guys used that opportunity to play against major league talent. They made a name for themselves, and now they were able to get to the big league. So for countries like Cuba, it's kind of unique because they don't get the platform to play against these big stars, but now they do. And yeah, the competition is pretty intense.
So what about the economic impact that will happen? Because I know it's big in other cities. So what's expected in Houston economically?
Yeah, for us here, probably projecting about $50 to $60 million worth of economic direct impact. And the footprint downtown is so unique that I think that's what really drew Major League Baseball, right? You have Discovery Green, you have the hotels, walking proximity to Minute Maid Park. And so it was great to see when the committee, the World Baseball Classic committee, came into town in October to kind of see our footprint downtown. They were all kind of blown away by it. So it's $50 to $60 million worth, and then we're going to have 350,000 people coming into town.
Wow.
So it's going to be great. Combine that with the World Cup like 2 or 3 months later, and it's just going to be nuts.
So when are we supposed to go on vacation?
I don't know. I don't know. That year's going to be kind of complicated.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So Houston's
We'll have to
getting.
hit it in early February after Sports Awards that year.
Wait, whoa. So it's going to be, what's that? So it's Sports Awards and then the World Baseball Classic and the World Cup?
Yeah.
And not to make it about me, but that's also the year I turned 40.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. Yes, that's right.
You knew that, right?
Of course I did. Yeah, absolutely. I just wasn't like too excited because I have stuff planned.
Wow.
You see that? That was a good segue.
That was a good
Okay, so
segue.
back to baseball classics. So San Juan, Tokyo, Houston, Miami. So each city will host the pool stage. Houston and Miami will host the quarterfinals. Miami will host the championship. And what's crazy is I was looking at the other places that will host, and they've done it at least 2 or 3 times before. Houston hasn't.
Houston hasn't. This will be the 9th major league ballpark. Minute Maid will be the 9th major league ballpark to host the World Baseball Classic, which is really cool. And the fact that Minute Maid has gotten so much exposure over the last, 7, 8, 9 years because the Astros playoff runs, I think people are going to see the ballpark and expect big things, right? They're used to seeing the ballpark at the World Series and the ALCS for 7 straight years, so it just makes perfect sense.
Whenever these committees come in to scope out where they're going to have these, I'm sure they're touring other cities too. So does the Houston Sports Authority, you guys have to like pull out all the stops and like show them around? Like how
For
does
sure.
that go?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, with our partners.
Yeah.
This time Houston First and the Astros. We were all partners in
wow.
this bid. Yeah, pull out all the stops.
yeah,
Show them
I-
all the cool spots.
So are
to
there
go.
any other tours that have happened that we don't know about yet?
Like, are you guys
For
always
other
doing
future things?
Are we
Yeah.
breaking news now?
That's our
No,
job.
I think we're good for now.
Well, I
so
saw
far.
Jim Crane, like he commented, you know what a big deal this
Yeah.
is. And I know it sounds crazy because I don't know, I just didn't really know what this all was. So when I started reading about it, I was like, oh, this is a big, major
Yes.
deal.
Yeah, and it's gotten bigger over the years because I remember covering the NCAA tournament when I was at Channel 11 over across
Where?
the street. Channel
Oh.
11, it's fine. We
Okay,
can say that.
yeah.
Channel 11.
Yeah,
work
I mean,
for them
people
anymore.
know you as a
Yeah.
sports figure
Yeah.
here.
Right.
So I was in Kansas City, and it was during the World Baseball Classic in '23, and people were actually engaged in watching the games. And that's like the first time I've ever seen that happen.
Wow.
And the stadium, this was when the games were in Phoenix. They were packed. It was USA versus Mexico. It was like high-level competition. So the teams are going to be announced a little bit later in the summer. We'll have a better idea of who's coming here, so that way people can get really geared up, and then ticket information and all that stuff will come a little later from Major League Baseball.
Gosh,
But
this
yeah,
is so
this big news.
exciting.
Are there any like big things planned in terms of Minute Maid, or I don't know if you would know this information, to get ready for the Baseball Classic? Was that discussed?
No, I mean Minute Maid is itself is a great facility. So it's got everything that all these international competitions need. Maybe, you know, some different baseball federations will come in and see if they need to add something, but I mean nothing major. I mean we're ready to rock and roll.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's so cool to break news and talk about news that is breaking here on
Right.
Caroline and Rashi.
Just broke a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to have you stick around, though, for the rest of the show. We're going to
I
talk
love
a
it.
little bit of sports, a little bit of Rashi and Daniel. So
Yes.
stay tuned. We'll
Oh,
be right back.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
We'll be back. All right, welcome back. Before we get into
I'm
some
gonna fix my posture.
Rashi and
doing
Daniel
I'm always
questions,
like very cognizant of the posture.
Yeah, you
I love it.
Fine, yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's
since
all
we
I
have
needed,
a-
that reassurance.
a former sports expert, you're still a sports expert, but you covered, how long were you a sports anchor here in Houston?
14 and a half
14
years.
That's a long time of covering
Long
Houston
time.
sports. So I
Yeah.
figured while we're talking about baseball,
Yeah.
I wanted to get your thoughts on the
Okay.
Astros
Sure.
because a lot's happening with the Astros
Absolutely.
this season. You know, the Astros are usually really good.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been like the hottest season so far. We've had the drama with Jose Abreu going back to West Palm. And then basically, from my understanding, like his replacement, John Singleton, kind of has been shining, right?
Yeah.
Just a lot happening with the Astros. Good, bad, whatever. What's your take on all of it?
Well, I think Astros fans. Were you about to leave? Or,
No, I wasn't about to
was
leave.
I boring you already?
I was trying to figure out how to. Sometimes, like it's different. Like I'll wear, pants,
Yeah.
It's like easier because you're supposed to be comfortable chairs,
I
supposed to
know.
be comfy, and then like today we decided to dress up for you.
Yeah, normally
really?
we don't look this good.
Yeah,
but
normally we're
you're
like, we're
coming.
just a hot mess. So this is why we're supposed
That's
to
not
be.
true. I watched the show from my
Oh,
office.
that's
Yeah,
He watches it live. I feel like a lot of people like binge us.
Yeah.
At least
That's
like
good.
in my family, they binge watch, but you
Okay.
watch it live.
Yeah,
I do
love
watch
he
it live
does.
at my desk. Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I think on the Astros, I think Astros fans have become very accustomed to winning, and that's a good and bad thing. They're so used to being on top of the division that nothing's going wrong and everything's fine, but then there's a little speed bump, and then we got to freak out. Everybody's losing their minds. Look, I think they're in third place now. They're going to be fine.
Okay.
I mean, they're going to be fine. There's too much talent on that roster not to figure it out. I hope Jose Abreu comes back. I'm a huge White Sox fan, so from his time with the White Sox, I really hope that he figures it out and he comes back. They were using him as a scapegoat a little bit for their problems earlier on. But I think he's going to be fine. He'll come back, and the Astros are going to be okay. I mean, we're only at the end of May, like 50 games in. We're good.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people were like stressed early on.
Well, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to fire everybody. And I'm like, guys, they literally just went to the ALCS. They've been to 7 straight. They've been to 4 World Series. I mean, just let them figure it
What
out.
about
It's okay.
the whole new manager?
Yeah, I think a lot
mean-
of that. I think a lot of that is out of his control. There may be other things going on behind the scenes that other voices in conversations. So look, Espada's he knows what he's doing. He knows the guys. They respect him. So for my sports analysis, I think they're going to be okay. I don't think there's anything to worry about. They'll be in the playoffs.
I love
they'll
it.
be in the playoffs.
You heard
This
it here
is
first.
so much better than like when Will does his sportscast and he's like, these boys are just, they need to get
Now
better.
look,
And then we're
I
just-
was harsh
No,
at
it's just-
times,
Yes, but I mean, we still have time.
but I'm also a realist, and they're going to be okay.
Okay, I like that.
Yes.
What's your take on? I think it's Lance McCullers Jr. He opened like a restaurant, like a coffee and alcohol place. These players
Yeah.
seem to get really involved in the Houston community. Rashi and I went to
Where do we go?
the jewelry launch, of
yes,
Alex
Reagan.
Bregman's wife, Reagan
Oh, yeah,
Bregman,
yeah.
and they have like the salsa line, and like they're always
For
doing
sure.
things in the
Right.
community. Do you feel like? I feel like that's kind of special. Like it's a special part of Houston.
Yeah,
and
it's
really
great.
involved.
I mean, Lance McCullers was our host for the Sports Awards this year, and he was awesome. He did a great job. I hope he comes back. I know he's working his way back to be back on the field with the guys. He's just those injuries have really bugged him throughout his career, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people come to Houston and they just stay here. I mean, even guys that play with the Astros then leave, they live here in Houston because they just love being in the community. So you see it, all the HEB commercials and all these guys are really
Yes.
involved, and either the Texans, the Astros, they're all in. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Really quickly with the Texans, everyone's so excited about this upcoming season. What do you I mean, obviously going to the Super Bowl is going to be, it's very, what's the word?
It's happening.
Okay, well that's
We're manifesting
you're
it.
happy
Speak it
manifesting
into existence.
Yes.
Into existence. It's very optimistic and
Yeah.
ambitious, which is great. But don't you think that this year, from other years in the past, it's more probable to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. They have a great coach and they have a great quarterback. And in the NFL, if you have a great coach and you have a great quarterback, you have a chance.
And great fans.
And great fans, yes. But they've laid the foundation. I think Nick Caserio's done a fantastic job as GM. He's had really good draft picks. Their young players are involved. They're playing. They're getting better with all the reps that they're having. I mean, the sky's the limit, really, when you have such a young coach. They exceeded expectations last year. They weren't even supposed to be in that position. CJ played way above what anybody really thought for a rookie. He was sensational. So, yeah, now expectations are squarely on them. So how do they manage those expectations? How do they deal with 6 primetime games? How do they deal with a lot more people paying attention to them? Last year, they didn't have any primetime games. They played every day at noon, right? So now it's going to be like, okay, so now they're playing these big-time names, the Ravens and the Chiefs and all these big teams. Their schedule's harder because they won the division last year. So I think they're going to be fine. It will be a little tougher, but they got a lot of talent on the team, and plus they signed some good players. So
And they're on Netflix now.
Are they?
Yeah, it's going to be on Netflix.
That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
their Christmas Day.
Are you
Look at me like
serious?
that.
Oh,
I know, I was
I
trying-
thought you
I
meant
didn't
like
wanna-
a special, but yes. Oh, yeah.
You
dang.
didn't want to what? Tell me that I was
Christmas
wrong?
Day
No,
thing.
you were right. You were right. This
Yeah,
is
I
like
mean,
our
this-
marriage.
Yes.
This is like our marriage.
What,
I'm
so
telling you were right all the time.
well, we're going to actually talk about their marriage a little bit after the
nice.
break, so stay tuned. All right, it's time to talk all things couples with these two over here.
All right, I love
So
it.
we're gonna kick things off with: are you car compatible with your partner or your spouse? That is the big
Okay.
question at the center of a new survey from Mazda, which found that at least 1 in 4 Americans admit to not being car compatible with their partner. Some say it's been the source of arguments like road trip, music, car settings, and when to use the car versus flying. 10% of men say that they consider these things deal breakers. I can tell you my parents have these types of arguments a lot over like hot, cold, seat heater, no
Oh,
seat,
yeah.
like whatever. What about you two?
Oh yeah, the
I'm
answer
laughing
is no, because it's clearly no.
Because I just fall asleep.
I mean, that's true.
That's why I was
It's when we have
laughing.
like a date night into the city.
Yeah.
She's out.
Are
to
you
and from.
serious? To and from?
No, that is not true.
To and from.
No.
sometimes.
It's not to and from. It's maybe
Really?
to and then half from.
Oh, a to and from.
Right.
Yeah, so
But,
we're
like,
not. So we are not car compatible.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
because
He sleeps, and do you always drive?
I always drive. I actually like driving.
Okay.
Love driving.
That's good.
we honestly don't have much in common. I don't like driving. He likes driving.
Got
like,
it.
He likes white bread. I like wheat bread.
Ah.
He likes
No, I do like
strawberry
wheat bread.
ice
Hold on a
cream.
second,
You
that was a
like
bad
white
example.
chocolate. I like dark chocolate.
I don't really like white chocolate
interesting.
anymore.
But
Yeah.
so, okay,
True.
do you know what annoys each other the most? Like Rashi, what annoys Daniel the most? And then we'll flip it. I wish I had the whiteboards that you guys could
I know
like.
we should.
No, we should have done
The number
that.
one thing that annoys him is people eating with their mouth open.
Wow. Yes, that's very true.
That's very, yeah.
I love it.
People eating
Yeah.
with their mouth open.
And backing into parking spaces.
Backing into parking
Oh,
spaces.
you're not a backer in person?
Definitely not.
Definitely not,
Yeah.
no.
Interesting. Most guys are, I feel.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And then,
What
Yeah.
annoys, wait, so what annoys Rashi the most?
What annoys Rashi the most?
there's so many things that annoy me
I know that's why I was
mean,
trying
what
to. That's why I was
doesn't
trying to
annoy her?
pinpoint it.
the most.
I
I don't know what the most would be. Well, yeah, she knows.
Oh, you know what it is?
She knows what it
You
is.
know what it is? Not matching your reactions to your facial expression.
Oh my gosh, that's one of them. Yes.
One
That's
of them,
right.
yes.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
true.
one of
Like
them.
that's what
Yeah.
this is what I mean.
Should I tell him the other one?
What's the other one I can't stand?
Go ahead.
What it's about has to do with
I mean, it's like a you thing.
you thing. What is it? What is it that you do that annoys me so much?
Oh, flossing. She just gave me a tip. It's true. You were on camera. I was just gonna roll with it, but then I realized it's a 3-shot.
Yes.
And then, yeah, it's true. Flossing. But
Yep.
see, that's an essential thing for tooth health.
I'm a big flosser.
Absolutely.
See, I
You
think,
have to do it.
I think flossing is optional. I do have
not
a
optional.
toothbrush that on it said it was like flossing, and so there we go. But
So she
yes,
got
yes,
duped.
yeah.
So what would Rashi's ideal date night be?
Rashi's ideal date night. Wings and going to bed at 8:30.
Yep.
What about a spicy marg?
A spicy
Oh,
margarita.
a spicy
yes,
marg. Yeah, if I knew how to make that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then driving home, she'd be asleep.
Oh yeah, and, then, and we're pulling in the driveway at 8:30.
No.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
She's fantastic.
What's
She's
his?
awesome.
And I don't know what your ideal date night would be, so I don't
Okay.
have the answer. But what would?
I think
Okay.
he would
You
probably.
can tell us.
Yeah, I think it would be probably like me and him, like drinking wine and maybe me helping him with Legos or something, and or going to the Lego store, watching a movie, or
Or just watching a movie.
or Disney World. You guys
Disney.
True.
There
we do have
go.
something in common.
I knew
Yes,
that.
Disney.
I knew that.
Oh yeah.
love for
We-
Disney. They are serious
Yes.
with Disney World.
We are.
Yes.
I'm going to Disneyland soon. I'm very excited.
Awesome.
Yes.
I know.
I'm going back to Disney World at the end
I
of September.
hear.
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
Maybe I can just tag along. I can just
Hey,
There you
go
go.
ahead.
place.
Yeah. She asked me all the time. It's like, are you sure you're going to go back?
I know, because
Absolutely,
I don't
yeah,
wanna
it's
go
fine.
back.
Well, we have a new plan, which
Okay.
because we love Disney, and we saw a video where she saw a video, sent it to me.
And you.
Disney Tokyo is way more affordable.
Yes, I did see that video.
So now we
yeah.
just have to get flights.
Yeah, no problem. No
Flights
problem.
to Tokyo.
I know.
Yeah, so that's
That would
the
be
plan.
good. Yeah.
that'll
Then
be
we can go
fun.
to the motherland, India.
Yeah, we're so close.
But yeah, right?
I mean, no, not really.
Eh,
Not, I mean,
well,
it's closer than
yeah.
here. Yeah.
No, I agree with the Disney though. I'm big,
Oh, yeah, I'm
big,
all in on that, yeah.
I'm all in for it. It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I already have my whole list of like snacks and what rides I need to see and do.
For sure. Yeah, people give me, I don't know if people give me a hard time, but people are probably wondering like, oh, why you're 40 years old, why you like Disney so much? I tell her all the time, it's like, I feel like that's one of those things that kind of keeps you balanced,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think in life you need to get in touch with something that balances you or something that keeps you happy at your core. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
what makes you happy at your core? It doesn't matter what it is.
No.
And for some
Yeah.
reason, I don't know, Disney and
Well, why do I
the
like-
nostalgia
yeah.
around it, I think it's just kind of cool.
Why do I like Disney? Because my dad, who would have been like, he was probably 40 when he had my sister or me,
Yeah.
He got us going to Disney every single year of our lives, and he was so into it and loved it so much. So naturally, I especially love it. So I'm sure your kids will love it too. And it's just like, you can do it with your kids, It's just like something fun. I
Something
love
fun
it.
to do, yeah, for sure.
That was
It's not really Rossi's jam, though.
But I go along with
you'll
it.
go-
It's good.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I don't think it was my mom's either, but
Yeah.
like even before
But there's
Lexi
so much
and
to
I
do
were
there.
born, my
There's so
dad
much
was
to
taking
do
my
there.
mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
It's just not a relaxed.
But it's funny because now knowing you guys and following you guys so closely, obviously because we're friends and I see like all the pictures, I am unaware of a lot of the kids stuff in Disney, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be so fun one day. Because I'm like a pro now at the adult stuff,
Right,
but I don't have a kid yet.
sure.
So now I'm like using you guys as like the model of like all the kids stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I
love
just use it as an excuse for doing homework.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it. I love it
All
so
right.
much. This was so much fun.
This
Daniel.
was.
Are we done?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we're already
done. We're
done.
gonna wrap up.
Jeez.
Yes.
That was great. I had a great time.
Thanks for being
Thanks
here.
so
Our
much.
very
Of course.
first guest.
Yeah,
this
this was
awesome.
a lot of
Yes, the Houston Sports Authority does such a great job. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad you're part of that organization now,
Yeah.
and we hope that you keep the news coming to Fox 26
Yes.
Always.
from the Sports Authority.
Just call me.
Okay, perfect.
Or just talk to her. She knows
Yeah.
how to get a hold of me.
I have your number too, so
There
Yes.
you go.
Yes.
we're
Perfect.
good. We're good.
Perfect.
Well, thanks so much, friends, for this edition of Caroline, Rashi, and Daniel.
Nice. Can we have my name?
Bye,
We should add it.
friends.
Bye, friends.